Good morning, guys. Welcome to part 2 of the Lanai deck build. As you saw from that little intro time lapse, it's good to meet your neighbors and talk to them. I found out one of my neighbors had a tractor with a box scraper on it, so that's going to make it a lot easier for me to, get rid of that grass first off. And second, getting my piers placed and, being able to level them really easily because it's just basically cinder that's left there now. There's a couple spots, I'll go up there in a minute and take a look at it, but gonna need some work. So anyway, this is part 2 of the Lanai deck build. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Let's get to work. So this is what it looks like after. Like I was saying, there's going to be some more patches here that I'm going to have to clean up by hand. But that's pretty awesome. I mean, this is down to basically just cinder and rock, which is exactly what I wanted to have under there. She just, pushed this up over here, and then I will slowly move that, with the wheelbarrow back to our little compost pile, which will be a way bigger compost pile now. What's up, Hati? What are you doing? Oh, good boy. Chickens have been going through it all morning. Jerry's going through it. There was a ton of worms in here. It's pretty amazing how strong the weave of all of the roots are in here. I don't know if you guys noticed in the time lapse, but first couple of passes it was really hard to get this stuff peeled up, but then once she caught an edge, or towards the end you saw me with the shovel flipping it over, you could just almost roll it up like carpet. That's how thick the weed is on this, the interlacing of the weeds. So yeah, the next step is going to be to put up some string lines and start getting all my measurements and then start placing the piers. So yeah, let's get to it. Oh, hi, Skull. All right. So you saw in that time lapse, I was routering the edges, just putting in a facet. Just because the corners on these they're not perfect, so either was going to do a round over or a facet. So my wife likes the facet better, or just a flat angle 45 cut basically is what it is. And then we got the first coat of primer on. This is just like a primer sealer. So we'll do one more coat of this, and then these will be ready to be installed. We need to get 6 of these total, because I'm going to have 6 vertical upright beams, posts, I guess, not beams. So we need to get 6 of these done, and I just wanted to get started on it because we hopefully will be ready to start placing them soon. All right, so I have all those anchors in, and basically what that did is it tied my 2x10 through the 2x6 that was here into the floor joist that's behind this. So these were 6-inch headlocks, So they went through both of these pieces into the floor joist. So that's why they're pretty much every 16 inches. Have all those in, and yeah, this is what they look like. Headlock, 6-inch, and these basically replace a lag bolt, and you don't have to pre-drill or anything. So these are pretty awesome. Okay, the other thing that I was working on is I'm marking out where my joists are going to go. So these are 2x10 hangers, and basically what I did here is I marked out from the outside of the 2x10, so it's 1.5 basically, to the outside of this 2x10, and then there's the 6x6 would be in between. There's not going to be any 6x6 here, of course, because this is where it attaches to the wall. So the 6x6, there will be one at 4 foot and then one out at 12 feet. So essentially 8 feet apart, which is where these piers will get placed. So I'm going to start on this side and work my way that way, because I want to wait until the very end, I guess, or the last minute to actually remove that little deck that's temporarily attached. Because once I pull that off, I'm going to need to finish out this section so that the dogs can still get in and out. So that's why I'm starting on this end. So that's it. Yeah, this will be here. Well, down lower, it'll be more like here. 6x6, another hanger. And then I have these marked out 8 feet. So from this one to this one is 8 feet. And on that side to this one is 8 feet. So in between these two will actually be closer to 7 feet, just because of the way everything's measured out. And then to attach the hangers, I have these, which are basically structural screws. They look like that. Number 9, 1.5 inch, and number 9 is what fits into these holes. So that's going to be what's going to be used to hang the hangers. Okay, so I have my outer string line up. Basically just a brick on 2 pieces of 2x4 put together with a screw in it. Same thing on that side. And basically what I did is I measured from the face of the 2x10 out 12 3/8, because that's the size of my 2x10s. So just over 12 feet. Now I'm getting ready to pull my angles to figure out where on here is square. So I'll go from that side over to here to figure out where the square is for this one, and then I'll come over and attach this to here and go to that side to figure out the square for that string. I'm not going to be putting that string up right now, just because the dogs, go up and down the stairs and the string's going to be right in front of them. So I'm focusing on this side for now. So I just realized this doesn't have the inches added up on it. Okay, I had to do some math real quick. So I did this in inches to be more precise, and it was 320.7 inches, which comes out to 26 feet, 8.5 inches. So basically what I'm doing is I'm stretching from that corner till I get to the 8.5 inches, and then I'm going to put a Sharpie mark on my string. I'm going to do the same thing the other way. Okay, so there's my Sharpie mark, which this isn't really focusing. It's focusing on the rocks, not on the string. But anyway, that's my Sharpie mark right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach a string over here. So I basically put a screw where the inside of this 2x10 will be, because I'm measuring the inside of it, because that's what's going to go against the 6x6. So I'm going to attach a string here, stretch it out there, line it up with that line, and put a stake in the ground. Okay, I have my string attached over there. I put a loop on this end. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stake through here. And my Sharpie is right here. So basically what I want to do is I just want to stretch this. And of course there's a rock right there. Okay, now it's going in. Okay, so let me take this off the stand. So now, if we look, which again, it's not going to focus, but if you look right where the intersection is, you see that black blurry. That's my Sharpie. So this line is going, this string is going directly over that Sharpie line. So that is my corner. That's my square. Now I got to do the same over there. I'm going to go ahead and do this one actually real quick and get that placed, because I just have a feeling the dogs are going to knock this over. So I'm going to get this corner placed and get that corner placed so that I have my good reference lines, because then I can just go off of these to place everything else. Put a string between those. Hey, it's raining. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to level out this spot. I'm tamping it down, and then I will place one of these piers in this position. So I'm just using a rake to kind of move this stuff around and then tamp it down, and then I'll check to see if it's level, and then I'll place the pier. Okay, so this is pretty much in place. If you look at the level there, it's just about on. It's slightly high on that corner, but that's okay in this direction because the pole, when it gets plumbed, will be correct. But it's pretty close. And then if you look this way, that one is, this is not focusing. That one's right on. Okay, and then you look at the edge here on the string, and that's pretty close, as well as this corner. So that's pretty much right on. That's about as close as I can get it anyway. I'm using a big mallet to kind of tap this into place, to square everything up and get it all done. I think this is set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some cinder around the edges of this, kind of wall it up a little bit and tamp it down slightly just to make sure that it doesn't move. Okay, well, it's raining a bit too much now, so, and kind of tired already. It's getting later. So I'll be working on this more this weekend. I got the two corners done, which was the most important part, just in case a-hole there decides he wants to knock these 2x4s down, or the strings or whatever. So I have this one placed here, I have that one placed down there, and that's my two main points. So from those being in place, I can measure all of the other blocks where they go, because I can just reattach the string right to these pier mounts, and then I'll have my square again. So pick it up this weekend. I'm also waiting on some hardware that actually fastens these brackets to the 6x6s. So I think half of it came in today, the other half's supposed to be tomorrow at Home Depot. So like I said, I'll probably get started on this again this weekend. It's only Wednesday today, so yeah. So these also got a second coat on them today, which luckily it was before it started raining and rain started splattering all over. This is dry already, luckily. So we got a second coat of the sealer, stain sealer. So once these are erected, it will get a coat of actual white house paint, like exterior house paint on top of that. I just want to make sure that they're really protected, so it's something I don't have to mess with for a long time. Okay, I finally got my hardware in. So these are big spacer nuts that go with these type of brackets. And then these are the screws that go with them, so they all kind of fit together and then they look, you know, really nice. Part of the Outdoor Accents series from Simpson. So I can start putting some of the 6x6s up. All right, back up front. As you can see, I got more of these placed. So this one, and this one are all placed correctly where they need to be. This one still needs to get placed over here, which I'm going to wait on that, not a big hurry. And then this one is going to be over here somewhere. Hopefully it's not. I got to see if it's going to be in the way here. Looks like it is going to be like right in the way, so that may have to wait until I actually move all this stuff out. And then this one here, I'm actually going to have to cut some of this concrete so that it'll be in the right place there. Because basically what this is going to be doing is the 6x6s will be framing this. So where this 6x6 comes up, it's going to be 4 feet from the wall, and then that's going to be the stairway or the walkway for the new stairway. And then from the other side of the 6x6 is where the, you know, railing will start to go here and then, you know, wrap around the deck. So these are up. I have my first set of 6x6s, you know, up here ready. I do have the second set of 3 6x6s already painted up, and they're still back in the workshop. So I'm going to focus on getting these 2 in place here so that I can hang the first 12-foot 2x10 from here out to here. All right, I have everything prepped here. I got my 2x4s with screws in them ready to go into the side of these to hold it up. I got my level. I got the 2 2x4s over here ready to go. So let's start putting these things up. All right, that one's perfect now. But the bottom's a little out of square, so I gotta go get my hammer and I gotta tap the bottom over a little bit so that it's centered on the bracket. and then I'll have to readjust it. All right, so the way that these things work is you see there's that lip sticking out on the back of this large nut. So that lip fits into these holes perfectly, nice and snug. And then the screws, there's a recess here, and then these screws fit perfectly into that recess, so everything locks in together. So this is the system made for these. Put this on. Comes with its own little bit. So everything's squared up. So now I just gotta run these anchors in. All right, that's it. 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. All right, there's one done. Of course, I'm gonna leave the bracing on there until I start attaching the 2x10s and everything. This one I'm a little concerned about if it's actually gonna touch the roof there. So we'll see. I'll try and get this one up now. So it's pretty close. Not as close as I thought it was going to be. All right, so I have 2 now that are fastened, plumb, and I got a 2x10 here. So I'm getting ready to put the hanger, and then I'm going to put this 2x10 out and make sure that it's level. So when this one was attached to the house, I made sure that it was level all the way across here. So basically what should happen is if I attach this 2x10 to here, put it out to there, make it level, and then my next post I put up is going to be the corner post over there, and then I'll hang the 2x10 temporarily over here, make sure that it's level. Then from that level line of the 2x10 over there all the way over to here to the level line of this 2x10, if I hang the 24-footer, which is here down sitting on the ground, it's basically the exact same piece as this one, and that's going to go all the way across the front. So that should in turn be level if both of these are level, and then I just make it to that same level. Okay, I have my 2x10 hanger here. So I'm not sure of the exact distance of where this needs to be because I have to do the first one. So, I mean, I think that it would be about there because, that 2x4 bottom should line up with the 2x4 bottom that I'm putting on. But I just want to make sure if I need to move it slightly one way or the other. They should be pretty much the same, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 2x4 and I'm going to take a couple of my clamps, which are right there. I'm going to clamp the clamp onto the 6x6, just sticking out so that I can set the 2x10 on top of it where I think it's close to the right level, and then that way I can get the hanger to the right spot and then start screwing that in. And I have the structural screws here, which I showed earlier in the video, so that's what I'll be using for the 2x10 hangers. All right, so that is clamped up temporarily. You can see this is perfectly level. I attached just one side of the hanger because I wanted to make sure. So 4 screws here, it gets 2 screws into the side and then the same on this side. That'll get tightened up. And then the next one is gonna go, like right here. So basically, I need to attach this now. So I'm gonna put a couple nails in there, and then I also got these big anchor bolts. I'll go and grab and I'll show you guys. Alright, so I put some framing nails in there, and then this is another new, I guess, new fastening technology. So this is called a through lock, and basically what this is, it's a self-tapping threaded piece, has a large like 1/8 inch washer on both sides, and then this piece here that locks in. So basically what this does is it replaces a 1/2 inch carriage bolt, and this thing was $3 and change, I want to say. So if you had to buy a carriage bolt, washers, nut, all that, you'd probably be spending at least $6 per set. So it's a good way to save some money, and it's a good fastener, and it's all by code, even though I'm not going by code, but it's there. So I'm going to end up putting 2 of these in each of these posts, but of course I got to wait till I get the other 2x10 on the other side. Okay, so I have the second 2x10 up and installed. It's nailed in just like the first side, so now I'm ready to put in the brackets or the new fixturing, which is these pieces. All right, so I have one full section done here. Basically the 2 6x6 uprights, and then the 2 2x10 horizontal pieces. So I'm going to basically duplicate this 3 more times. And then in between, going this way, I'll have my 2x8 joist going over 16 inches, because we want the Trex decking is going to be going this way, so it's going to be coming out perpendicular from the house, and we wanted that just because we prefer that look, and also I can get 12-foot pieces so that they're just single pieces. There's not going to be any seams anywhere in it, whereas if I went this direction, you know, it's 24 feet, so I would end up having to have seams, and I didn't want that, so we went with this option this way. So now I'm going to get that beam put up and temporarily do the 2x10, because I want to, my goal I guess for this video is I want to get this front 2x24 or a 24-foot 2x10 up, and then I think that'll probably be it for this video. All right guys, well, looking at the video, I see that I'm over 30 minutes now, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and the next video I will just pick up right where I left off. So made some good visual progress on this video, getting some of the 6x6s installed and up, and getting some of the 2x10s. The next video I should be able to wrap up all of the framing, all the floor joists and everything, and basically be ready for when the Trex shows up, whenever that's going to be. I'm sure that's another 3 weeks, or you know, maybe even 4 weeks out. I don't know. I have no idea when it's going to show up. They just tell us 4 to 6 weeks, so I guess we'll see. So the next video will be, like I said, just continuing installing the 6x6s that are remaining, finishing with the piers. The one pier closest to the steps, I'm going to have to cut the concrete so that the pier will fit in the right spot. So that'll probably all be addressed in the next video. So as always guys, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe and like, and I will see you on the next video. Aloha.